previously incarcerated, I would, and I'm kind of spitballing this number, but 1 out of 10 of the clients I see on any given month have been incarcerated at one time. It's just, one of the challenges for them is if they're recent. Recently, that's where some of the challenges come in, but they can get employment. I'm telling you, I promise you, as I stand here, they can get jobs, even if they have their ankle bracelets on. So there are lots of jobs out there, lots. Grab them while they can. If anybody has any questions, I'll be here just briefly because then I've got a 1 o'clock meeting. Take a couple of questions now. Yes, ma'am.
Do you require the veterans that enter your program, do they have to be physically able, or do you have successors matching them? Those who are like older veterans that can't do physical jobs, do you have successors matching them with employees?
That is an excellent question, and we can do both. I will tell you honestly, the bigger success story is the younger ones. Obviously, that's just how. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Are you connected with how do you afford the car here that
We have somebody that goes down there, Sandra Morrison. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
One of the hardest populations to work with are sex offenders. I know you guys have gotten jobs for them in the past.
Yes.
What's the outlook for them?
Good question. And thank you. I'm going to repeat the question he's asking. One of the biggest challenges you have anybody who's done employment out here is not just being formerly incarcerated, but if they're a sex offender. That is challenging, but I've seen success stories with that. We had an example. We had one that started at $22 an hour. He was staying, PNS, shout out. He was staying at the Patriot House. He makes $35 an hour now. Makes full time. But he was an SO, and so much of it comes from those jobs are out there. They're going to be limited. That just narrows the field more, but there are jobs out there. Yes, ma'am.
Do y'all have transportation at all?
Yes. What we provide, and we're still waiting to get, we provide bus passes. I'm limited on those. It's usually 3 to 4 weekly passes per client, which covers like a month. Although I can make exceptions, it depends on the situation. We were providing gas cards, but everybody sees how fast they go through those. $20 gas card is about to come out to be 2 gallons of gas. We are out of those at this time. Another thing you were asking about the transportation, something else I just want to share with everyone. We also are members of the Tarrant County Food Bank, and any time, because we have once they'll initially get their job, we'll hear from them later, they got an apartment, or they got their HUD badge, they're in an apartment. That case manager brings them a big box of what we call the starter set. Lots of canned goods, everything. We keep quite a bit of there actually. We work with Amazon and with Tarrant County Food Bank for that, for the donations. Any other questions? Yes?
What's the referral process? The referral process
The referral process,
to your program?
call.
Just call
What I did was I left all of the case managers' business cards back there, and they're all great. These are super case managers. Just take that card and call. That, yes, ma'am?
Is there a list of second chance jobs
jobs that, like, different agencies can get, because I'm from, MHMR.
Okay. Yes, I could have you get, or I have 2 case managers that, I won't say specialize with that, but they're my go-to. I'll say, hey, got this situation, this. Okay, you want to check these 3 employers. They stay on top of it, absolutely.
So
I'll
they're-
give you my card
Okay.
when we close,
All
okay?
right.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? Thank you all so much.
All right, so last but certainly not least, we have Ms. Melissa Wilkes with Legal Aid.
Hello, everyone. As Shannon said, my name is Melissa Wilkes. I am an attorney with Legal Aid in Northwest Texas. How many in this room know that member organizations of the Tarrant County Homeless Coalition can send direct referrals to Legal Aid for their participants? So a few of y'all, but not a whole lot of you, so we're in the right place. All right, so just a little bit of background. Legal Aid of Northwest Texas is a nonprofit law firm. We cover 114 counties across the state of Texas. I am out of our Fort Worth office, and I actually office in the Center for Transforming Lives downtown across the street from the public library. The program that I work in was set up, it was kind of the brainchild between Legal Aid and CTL, and it is a way for member organizations of TCHC to send direct referrals for their participants to Legal Aid. So rather than y'all having to give your participant our general phone number, which rings and rings and rings constantly, and no one can ever get a hold of a human, you have a way to send a referral directly to my paralegal. My paralegal calls your participant, gets them screened, sets them up for an appointment with me, or another attorney, depending on what the case involves. So it's just, it is a direct route to get your people the assistance that they need. What do? Legal Aid as a law firm does a lot of different practice areas. If there is something that your participant needs, there's a good chance we have an attorney who can at least do a consultation on it. The big thing that we don't do, two big things. We do not do personal injury cases. There are tons of attorneys that do personal injury, that do a contingent fee basis, so there's not really a need for Legal Aid to do that. The other big thing we don't do is criminal cases, but there are some exceptions, right? So anything that's above the grade of Class C, so anything that's above a ticket, Legal Aid's not gonna do. Unless we're talking about an old case that they're wanting an expunction or a non-disclosure to seal their criminal records. That's something that Legal Aid can help with. A lot of my cases are Class C tickets. I do a lot of expunctions and non-disclosures. I do a lot of landlord-tenant things. So once your participants are in a rapid rehousing program, landlord-tenant issues come up, we try to help resolve those. Like I said, if there is a legal issue, there's a good chance that we have an attorney that Legal Aid who can at least do a consultation. We can't accept every case, obviously, but we can at least give them some information. Now, everyone who comes through the Tarrant County Homeless Coalition, they have preference for me to accept their case. Okay, so I try really hard to accept every case that walks through the door. It's not possible all the time, but I try really hard to do that, or at least set them up for to be successful in what they're trying to accomplish. So the big question: how do you get in touch with me? We have a link that you can go to. So it is transforminglives.org/legal aid. Again, that's transforminglives.org/legal aid. That's going to pull up a web page. You click it to enter, and that's going to take you to a JOT form. You fill out the information, you hit submit, that goes directly to my paralegal, and we take it from there. That that link is hidden, so you can't search, you can't find it on the CTL website. And it's only for caseworkers, okay? And caseworker is very broad. Basically, it's whatever your organization considers a caseworker, that person can submit a referral through our portal. Please don't give my direct contact information out to your clients. I get some phone calls sometimes. It gets overwhelming if we do it that way. So please send it through the referral portal. I put a bunch of my cards out back there. Feel free to take one. I would love for you to send me an email so that I can get you on my distribution list. I try to send out periodic emails saying, hey, we're still here. This is what we're doing. These are the successes we have lately. I would love to get you on there. I know that in the type of work that we do, legal aid, social work, there's a high turnover. So I'm constantly trying to stay in front of the caseworkers to remind them that we exist and we're here to help. Shout out to Judge Summers' program. They're fantastic. I am more than happy to help your participants get into that program, and I have a little competition with myself to get them to complete the program. Okay, I had 2 last week that finished it, so I was pretty proud of myself on that. And they're wonderful. They work with our clients to try to help them succeed. Throw a lot of information at you. What questions do you have?
Can you say the link again?
I would love to. Okay. It's transforminglives.org/legal aid. And if you grab one of my cards and you email me and say, hey, I can't remember what that link was, I'm happy to send it to you. Yes.
How old would Class A or Class B misdemeanor have to be like considerable for?
The answer is, so she asked how old does a Class B, Class A, or something higher have to be eligible for an expunction or disclosure? The answer is it depends. It's going to depend on what the offense was, what the adjudication process was. Just send them to me. And that applies to pretty much everything. If your participant has a legal issue, send them over. Even if you don't know if it's something we'll accept, like we will screen it and we'll let y'all know whether or not it's something we can do. Send it over and we'll figure it out.
Work on immigration cases?
Oh goodness, okay, so yes and no. I was an immigration attorney before I came to legal aid, and so I have some frustration with what we're able to do as far as immigration goes. I can give advice on a lot of different types of immigration issues, okay? Whether or not legal aid can accept it is very limited. So legal aid primarily helps people who have been victims of family violence, have been victims of some other type of crime, so people who qualify for a U visa. There's some other issues, like a T visa, where someone's been a victim of trafficking, whether that be sex work or labor trafficking. So it depends. Again, if you think someone has an issue, feel free to send a referral over and we'll figure out if we can help them. If we can't help them, my paralegal gives them other resources to reach out to. I can tell you on the immigration front, everyone is swamped and it's very hard to find organizations who will accept immigration cases right now. It's pretty frustrating, but that's the state of things at the moment. Other questions?
What about assisting with child support amendments?
Yes, so
Can do, okay.
I personally do not do the consultations for our family law group. I'm in our housing group. So the Fort Worth office is divided into 2 basic categories. Housing related issues, which is technically housing, consumer, public benefits, and then family law. But we will set them up with a family law consultation. So even though it's not housing, public benefits related, it's still a way to get a direct referral for your participant.
Okay.
That being said, our family law unit is overwhelmed with cases. The likelihood of them actually getting accepted is 1 to they're probably going to have to be victims of really bad abuse. It's gonna have to be a really challenging situation, okay? So, if it's just a plain child support,
Okay.
modification, probably not gonna get accepted, but they can at least get a consultation, okay? They can at least get a consultation, know what to expect. The family law attorney will give them, resources to go to, say, like TexasLawHelp.org has tons of forms on it, so.
That's what we started using. We're helping a couple of people, so I
Yes,
was just
it's
wondering.
wonderful, yeah. If they get a family law consultation and they still have some questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Like I said, please don't give your every single participant my direct contact information. But if one of your participants get a family law consult and they still have some questions about it, I'm more than happy for you to email me and say, hey, could you look this case up and see what was said? My participant's a little bit confused on it. I'm happy to do that. Any other questions?
Even if the family is involved with CPS and there's a legal case going on there, would you be able to represent one of the parties involved?
It depends. If there is an actual CPS case in district court, parents are eligible for court-appointed attorneys.
Right.
And so if there's a situation where there's a court-appointed attorney is a right, or they already have one, then we're probably not going to accept the case. Any other questions? All right, I'm gonna stick around. If any of you think of anything, please feel free to come up. If I've emailed or talked to you before, and I would love to connect a face with a name. I know some of you in the room I've worked with. Please, so I know.
Oh, Rupert, I'm sorry. Y'all help with anything that's out of state? Or is it
No.
only Texas state? Okay.
Because the attorney has to be licensed in whatever state it is, okay? However, my paralegal will put together a list of legal aid organizations in those areas. She calls the legal aid organization and asks them if they will take a soft referral. If they will, we send them the information directly. If not, then we at least give the participant the contact information to that organization.
One of the things you might want to keep in mind is that the Tarrant County Bar Association, you can always contact them, and they will either give you some information. I think that 2 days during the month, that they have attorneys that volunteer to answer just basic questions. And if they can help you, they will, but if they can't, they'll give you someone in that area.
And you had asked when Jeff Summers was speaking about what if someone has a case that's not forward? Send them to me. I am doing a lot of Class C cases all over the place, and as Judge Summers said, it depends on the judge how it's going to go, okay? But I always tell our participants, we're not making it any worse by asking. We're not making it any worse by asking the judge, hey judge, my client's indigent, this is what they're going through. What can you do for them? It can be, well, we'll put them on a payment plan. Okay, fine. Or it can be, well, they can do community service. Okay. Some judges, they just wipe it out, and they even tell us, like, we have to look it up a month later and see if the case is still open. Dallas, I've never had, basically I sent a referral to Dallas and knock on wood somewhere. They just wipe them out. So it just depends, it depends on the judge, the locale, and how that goes. But I go with them. So your client, whoever it was that said their client cried in Arlington, I would at least be with them, okay? They wouldn't have to stand there and cry by themselves. All right? I would love for you to tell me.
This was getting represented and he had 3 tickets. And they were in my community court. And he comes in, and I called him a blast. The reason I called him a blast is because the tickets were so old that the prosecutor recommended that we dismiss them. So when he called him up, I said to him, sir, the tickets have been dismissed. He was so